heard that President Trump is nominating Marco Rubio, or at least Rubio is a contender in the Secretary of State. I think Donald Trump is making a mistake. Why? Number one, I have my reservations, but I think Tulsi Gabbard is a much better Secretary of State than Marco Rubio. So, this discussion is very important, and if you're coming on live and you're watching me, thank you. Let's compare and dive into why Tulsi and Marco Rubio are different have different leadership qualities, and why Tulsi is a more manlier leader than Marco Rubio. Let's examine their policies, transparency, and what they bring to the crucial role. Ready? This is going to be fun. So first of all, transparency and trust. Let's talk about transparency. Marco Rubio has always faced criticism for not being clear on foreign policy and his motives. This is concerning. And as somebody who holds transparency at the very highest level, and who is very transparent in her ideas and her policies, I think that President Trump should really consider this as a question on Marco Rubio. Because once he puts somebody into office, what if he needs to fire them? And judging from the last picks that he had, I think he should really get somebody a little bit tougher on somebody who's a little bit tougher for Secretary of State, who's going to push back on a lot of these international agreements that we have, and also somebody who's diplomatic and who can harmonize between different countries and our allies. I don't think Marco Rubio is strong enough. Tulsi Gabbard, on the other hand, she's an open book. She's like me. I trust her. I know where she's coming at. I understand her policies. I love her aloha spirit. I think she would be wonderful in bringing harmony and unity and pushing back on leaders and in their international sphere. And I think she would be she would be a great advocate for accountability, and she would have straightforward policies. And for a role such as this one that deals with global relationships, we need somebody who's an open communicator and who can collaborate across the aisle. Don't you think? What do you think? Comment below. The topic is Marco Rubio and Tulsi Gabbard. And who would be, I think Marco Rubio is the terrible pick for Secretary of State. What do you think? I think so anyways. Policy approach, Marco Rubio, he's aggressive in his stance, which is good. I'm a good guy. I guess I am. Although I'm a good woman. But I think that Tulsi Gabbard, even though I think Tulsi Gabbard can be very assertive, and she would be very good and supportive of interventions that are good for the country. I think we need her aloha spirit, and we need to I think she would be good. I think she has great thinking skills and she has good balance on her emotions. And I think that she would have good solutions to many of the problems that we face in the foreign arena. What do you think? Yay! Donald Trump! Congratulations! He won and he won big. We need a big win here in Colorado too. Um, Colorado is like a blue iceberg in the middle of the United States. We're very cold as ice. Um, yeah, he won big. I love Donald Trump. I'm so elated that at least we had a win at the presidential level, on the national level, because here in Colorado, we still have many communist ideas and policies. That's okay. I'm going to collaborate with the left and I'm going to harmonize the legislature and I'm trying to form this harmony initiative movement that will harmonize here and educate people on the American way, on the Constitution, and on their role in civic duty. So hopefully next year I'll set up a party, I'll start a party, and um, we can change things in Colorado, God willing. I'm not sure if I could do it, but with God's help, I could do anything. But anyways, back to Tulsi Gabbard and Marco Rubio. Um, Tulsi has been criticized for not being aggressive enough, but that's okay. She's a woman. She's not supposed to be aggressive. I don't want her to be like Hillary Clinton. Uh, she was terrible. But I think Tulsi advocates for non-interventionist approach, and which would be good. Um, and she focuses on diplomacy, which we need, and peace rather than conflict. I like that stance of her. I'm more about resolving conflict, not necessarily bringing peace, but bringing out the conflict in order to resolve it. Um, and I think Tulsi's approach can stabilize international relationships much better than Marco Rubio. But that's my take. Um, on a bipartisanship level, Tulsi's willingness to work across the aisle is very good, and I like that approach. Yes, she was criticized by her own party for being bipartisan, but I think that's the right approach. We need more collaborative representation at the foreign level as well as the national level as well as the state level. We need more of that, and I think it's essential for a Secretary of State to be collaborative. And in order to bring harmony and a strong global impact that crosses, that's not just party line. I think Trump should really focus on Tulsi Gabbard, and because I think she's a stronger leader for foreign policy, and her commitment to transparency and diplomacy and working across the aisle and collaborating is stronger than Marco Rubio. Um, uh, I think she stands out as a candidate, but I'm not sure. What do you think? I know, isn't that great? He has the House, the Senate. If Republicans screw this one up, man, I don't know what's going to happen. I think people are going to get fed up with the parties. We're talking about Marco Rubio and Tulsi Gabbard. I think Tulsi Gabbard is a better Secretary of State. I think she would be a stronger, more collaborative approach. I think she could actually do a better job than Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio just, I don't know. What do you think? Nah, what do you think? Marco? I think Tulsi. That's a mic. So if you want to send this video to Trump, President Trump, I would appreciate it. Because, I really want to be on his administrative team. I should be on his team. What do you think? You think that I could be a good leader? Yeah. Uh, I often say that I'm like Mary Magdalene. I don't know. I think that I'm the Mary Magdalene of the new millennial. Um, but um, yeah, I think I do have. I think the world needs genuine leadership and a fresh perspective. And I think Trump should start putting in more Gen X ideas into the fold, because Gen X needs to help the millennials lead the way, which I think they think they want to lead, but I think we Gen Xers, I think we're better collaborators and have better ideas. What do you think? Is there anybody who's a millennial in this group? I don't know. Um, but I think I'm that voice that people need, um, and I embody that spirit of resilience and that Mary Magdalene for our generation. Um, it's time for the boomer leaders to pass the torch down to the Gen X leaders, as a new calling emerge from the echoes of history. Um, there is this Mary Magdalene. How many people here know who Mary Magdalene is? She was a figure of intense transformation, standing by Jesus during the times of his immense change. And our world now faces unprecedented challenges and that require not just traditional solutions, but visionary transformation, leadership. Like Mary, I am ready to step forward and guide by a vision that transcends conventional boundaries and taps into a deeper sense of purpose. Um, I think that, I don't know, we have a lot of issues in our time, and climate change, and people are very ignorant about government and politics, and I think we need leaders who understand the foundational works of the Constitution, and I believe there's only a handful of people that truly understand legal history, and a lot of the things that are going on that the Democrat Party, not the people, because we have great people in my district, Democrats as people, they're great people and they have lots of ideas and they understand somewhat the Constitution. But I think that we need people who really understand our foundation, so that they can solve the challenges that we face today. But millennials and Zers, they would make good representatives if they learn to listen to older people and learn to speak the language of the ancients, as well as learn to harmonize with their ideas and the older people's ideas. But I don't know. I feel called to jump in and educate and lead and be that positive force in life. So, I don't know. What do you think? I'm trying to figure out how to make my channel resonate with a lot of people and what makes people click. So I'm still trying to figure it out. So if you want to let me know what you're interested in and how you want me to talk about, bring political ideas and harmonize and be more collaborative on talking about politics than negative. I hate the negativity when they bring in ideas and they bring negative the negative into it instead of being positive and harmonizing with the topics in order to educate and enlighten people to talk about politics in a different light. So I think I'm still playing with it. I'm also going to give me 30 days, but I'm going to start a new podcast on not Shopify, but what is it called, that platform? Spotify. And I'm still working out the kinks, but I think I'm going to do a podcast, and I'll bring those podcast ideas into YouTube. But I need to start somewhere, and I'd like it to be a little bit lasting. So whoever we get as leaders, if we see that free speech is being censored again for Americans, then at least the podcast will live on. And I just have a need to shine a light on a lot of these legal issues and the Constitution, because I see a lot of people coming out of colleges and they're quite ignorant on our foundational documents. So for next year, that's what I'm thinking of doing. And I'd like to have you comment and let me know what you want to see and how you want to be enlightened, and so that you could start talking about some of these issues and harmonizing and educating others that might need educating. So that's what I feel, that I need to be that kind of leader that, just helps people bring ideas into the table and help people move ideas that matter, so that we educate each other and we can move forward things into policy that actually benefit each one of us instead of like a collective. I'm not about collective. I'm more about individuals, because that's where leadership happens. It happens at the individual level, from the bottom up, not from the top down. And that's how America works. We're not dictated by government what we should do. We are dictated in our hearts what we should do. And that's how God guides each one of us. And government needs to allow for that guidance so that we can work and live with purpose and intention. What do you think? Anyways, that's my thoughts. I think Trump should consider Tulsi Gabbard as Secretary of State. But that's my pick. I don't like Marco Rubio. I think Marco Rubio, I kind of liked him when he was running for president. But when I met him in person, I didn't get a good vibe. I didn't think he was very transparent. And I like transparency in government. What do you think? Comment below. I'm interested in knowing your thoughts. Oh no. So, hopefully you keep joining me for this journey as we embrace a new wave of leadership inspired by the past and looking firmly to the future. Hopefully we can make a difference together, and we can ask for seasoned leaders to support new path forward, to mentor and to help usher a new era of leadership. So Thank you for watching and believing in the power of transformational leadership. Stay tuned for more insights and discussions right here. Take care and let's lead the charge for better leadership in America. And let's pray that America and the American experiment continues for another 250 years, at least. Right? I like our country. I love our form of government. I think that our founding fathers were brilliant. And we need that same brilliance today. Anyways, talk to you later.